Years of controversy, heated public debates about prolonged incarceration and delayed trial. The 2020 Delhi riots case has remained one of India's most polarizing legal battles. Today, the Supreme Court has given its answer. In an important verdict, the top court has refused to grant bail to two main accused in the case, Umar Khalid and Sharjeel Imam, holding that the prosecution evidence prima facie shows their roles in planning and organizing the Delhi riots. The court has explained how the bail threshold under UAPA is higher than in other offences, and also that in cases involving national security and integrity, delay cannot operate as a trump card. The court's opinion is very clear. Personal liberty matters, but not at the cost of national security. So basically, 5 of the accused will walk free on bail with conditions, but these 2 will continue to remain behind bars. In India's legal theatre, though, the story isn't over yet. It's only entering its next act. The focus now shifts back to the trial courts, and the public opinion, as usual, remains sharply divided. An important verdict from the Supreme Court of India today in the Delhi riots larger conspiracy case, where the court has denied bail to 2 accused, Sharjeel Imam and Umar Khalid, while allowing bail to 5 other accused in the case. We're speaking to Advocate Rajat Nair, who's a special public prosecutor in the Delhi riots cases and somebody who's handled the matters both before High Court and Supreme Court. Sir, as somebody who's represented the Delhi police extensively in this case, your first reaction to today's verdict and key takeaways from today's Supreme Court judgment, according to you?
See, it's a very, very fair verdict. In fact, the reasoning given by the Honorable Supreme Court will enlighten us in all other cases, because this is a landmark judgment. This judgment has paved way and given clarity in how the UAPA Act has to be applied in various matters where there are accused who are languishing in jail for a considerable period of time. The key takeaway is that Supreme Court has very clearly held that delay is not a trump card. People who have done overt act, who have challenged the sovereignty and integrity of the country, they cannot be enlarged on bail only on the ground of delay. So delay is not a trump card. The gravity of the offence, their conduct, the evidence available against them has to be seen, and only thereafter it has to be decided whether bail is to be granted to them on the touchstone of 21 rights or not.
So interestingly, the verdict has come in days after we saw a letter from the newly elected New York Mayor for Umar Khalid being released, and now the top court has refused to grant him bail. Also becomes important because, firstly, your comment to this entire situation regarding the letter, and secondly, do you think this supplements what the Delhi police argument has been in this case since the beginning, that the intention of the accused, as you have argued, the intention of the riots, the intention of the protest that was held in 2020 was to gain international attention?
See, first of all, first limb of your question, I am completely not surprised by these letters and all, because from day one, we have been experiencing a disinformation campaign. We have been experiencing barrage of media reports maligning the prosecution, terming prosecution as persecution, playing victim card. And today we have been vindicated by the Honorable Supreme Court. Our arguments, our evidence was considered, examined threadbare by the Honorable Supreme Court, and thereafter Supreme Court came to a conclusion that yes, there is a prima facie case against them, and on the basis of that finding, the court has disallowed bail to the 2 main accused. Now, the Honorable Supreme Court has categorized the accused in 2 different categories. One are the main actors, one are the side actors. The side fiddles who have been termed as facilitators, they have been granted bail. But the main actors who have actually conspired, galvanized the entire movement, they have been denied bail because the gravity of the offense is very serious. It directly undermines the sovereignty of the country. It directly challenges the government of the day. It directly challenges the law and order situation. See, if you recall, if you see the chronology, it was not a communal riot. The riot started with lynching of one police officer. It was a direct attack on the law enforcement agencies. It was not an attack on the other community. So all of this, as we have already submitted before the Supreme Court, has something more than what meets the eye.
So the Supreme Court has given a detailed order. They've paid a lot of attention on the aspect of the evidence and the material that prosecution has placed before the court and the importance that it has in UAPA cases when the court decides whether or not to grant bail. The court has clearly said that as far as the two accused, Sharjeel Imam and Umar Khalid, who have not been granted bail, it is because the evidence that you've placed before court creates a prima facie case against them. For the benefit of our viewers, if you could please throw a little light on what is the main evidence, what form of evidence is the Delhi police relying on?
Let me clarify it. The Honorable Supreme Court has not only examined the evidence against the two accused who have been granted bail, but they have also examined the evidence of other accused who have been granted bail. The two accused who have been denied bail and the other accused who have been granted bail. So the Honorable Court has only granted them bail on the point that their role was not that of mastermind. So those who were the kingpins, they have been denied bail. Those who were the facilitators, who were the side actors, side fiddles, Supreme Court has held that they are entitled to bail after 5 years. So the judgment is not available as of now. We'll have to examine the judgment and thereafter only we will be able to comment on that.
So last question, as you pointed out, 5 of them have been given bail, but the two main accused, the accused who even the Delhi police had called the main conspirators in this case, have not been granted bail. Does Delhi police see this as a win?
Certainly. Certainly. It was always our argument that the trial in this matter has to be completed as expeditiously as possible. See, the process of going through a trial is a very, very tedious process. Now, it was our case that there was systematic delay being perpetrated by these accused. People who were out on bail were not allowing the trial to conclude. So it was always our case, the learned ASG had always submitted that we want the trial to finish as expeditiously as possible. And we have succeeded in that because the Honorable Supreme Court has given directions to the learned trial court saying that the learned trial court has to devise a roadmap so as to ensure that all the protected witnesses are examined as expeditiously as possible. So we have succeeded. Our argument has been accepted by the Honorable Supreme Court. We are interested in concluding the trial as expeditiously as possible. And this has been directed by the Honorable Supreme Court. In fact, in all the matters, there are 53 riot cases, 53 murder cases. In most of the cases, there are other orders by the Honorable Supreme Court where trial court has been directed to expedite the trial and conclude it. And the trials are getting concluded in a very, very orderly manner, despite very heavy workload on the learned trial court, very heavy workload. I mean, it's beyond imagination the amount of workload which the trial court is bearing. So, but trial are getting concluded and hopefully after this judgment, this particular trial will also get concluded in very near future.
Thank you so much for speaking to India Today, sir. That was the Delhi Police's comment on Supreme Court's verdict today. The Delhi riots case in itself has been a center of constant controversy, debates and discussions, especially around the aspect of prolonged incarceration and the accused being behind bars for over 5 years. Well, the Supreme Court has clearly given its answer today. While 5 of them get to walk out of jail, 2 of them, which the Delhi police call the main accused in this case, Umar Khalid and Sharjeel Imam, will have to still remain behind bars. With camera person Kunj Bihari from New Delhi, this is Srishti Ojha for India Today.